ADHD, OCD, and he has an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Big time eating disorder.
Yes.
Piglet.
Oh, it's anxiety disorder.
Oh my God. Exactly. Generalized anxiety disorder. Piglet worries a lot, exhibits classic signs of GAD, and believe the anxiety stems from a crippled self-esteem. His stuttering is also very likely a result of his anxiety.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay, so we know about Owl. What is Owl's problem?
Narcolepsy.
Huh?
Narcolepsy.
He has dyslexia.
Yes.
Owl
Actually,
is the most intelligent of all characters, but still struggles with his spelling.
Yes.
You notice that everything's backwards. Okay. Tigger. What is Tigger's problems? It's simple.
ADHD.
I don't even have to say anymore. The guy has so many problems all over the page. Kanga. What's Kanga's problem?
Oh, I would say helicopter parent, but
Remember, she has the parent. So what is it? She's the mom.
abandonment issues.
Social anxiety disorder. Her overprotectiveness of her son, Rue, in the way she never lets Rue make his own decisions, and has an attachment sitting to.
Helicopter parent.
And then how long have they been together? Would you say? How many years would this be? Good 40, 50 years?
Decades, yeah.
Yeah. He's still in her pouch all the time.
Yeah.
So there's some issues right there. Okay. Oh, shit. I can say. Rue, what's Rue's problems? Do you know?
Mama's boy.
Overprotective.
Yeah.
Autism spectrum disorder. Autism. He is unaware of danger in his surrounding and has an attachment sitting in his mother's pouch.
That I would have to agree.
Rabbit? Come on.
OCD.
You got it. You're on the nose. OCD. Rabbit is obsessed with everything organized, often betrayed when he is gardening, he does. And then your Eeyore, your guy's favorite guy.
Oh, depression.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't slit his wrist and stuffing's come out of his
Well,
wrist
he doesn't
yet.
have fingers, so it makes it really hard to hold razor blades.
And his tail keeps falling out with the nail, so therefore he doesn't really have any sharp implements.
You don't think there's a way he could talk Tigger into slice in his wrist? Tigger would do it.
Tigger couldn't keep his energy focused on the task long enough to get that done.
Exactly.
That's
Eeyore
good.
couldn't talk fast
You know
enough.
what? You guys are so awesome. I'm gonna feed you tonight during the theater. You guys are getting. I'm giving you guys red vines.
Thank you.
Red vines. And since we're going to be going into, I got one T-shirt left. It's a Nerd Side T-shirt.
Ooh.
You guys have to fight over it.
got a free T-shirt
I
today.
hope to God it fits. Hey, thank you guys. Hey, make sure to follow us on the show. If you don't listen to us on SiriusXM, follow us through the podcast, follow us on TuneIn, follow the social platforms. It's always at Your Nerd Side. Search for it and look for it. Thank you guys for joining us. Enjoy the movie.
Thank you.
So, of course, we found out Winnie the Pooh has problems. He has attention deficit hyperactive disorder, a.k.a. ADHD, and he also has an eating disorder. He has compulsive eating.
It sounds that he's on the spectrum because a lot of people who are on the spectrum tend to have a lot of those different disorders. So, or he just thinks outside of the box. How many great founders and geniuses would have been labeled but never been supported?
Every bear is a genius in my life. Yeah, every bear.
Every bear.
Piglet is, of course, believed to suffers from generalized anxiety disorder. He's just...
Don't you work with a lot of people like that?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Who are you thinking about?
No comment.
All right, and Winnie, Christopher Robin, I always want to call him Robinson, is believed that he has schizophrenia. Seen some weird stuff. Owl, dyslexia. Of course, we know that.
Just
Tigger,
escapism.
ADHD. Kango, social anxiety disorder. Her overprotectiveness of her son, Rue, in the way she never lets Rue make his own decision.
Rue, I don't get. There's also some people think that Rue is on the spectrum for having autism. That makes no sense.
Well, autism spectrum disorder. He's unaware of danger in his surroundings and has an attachment to sitting in his mother's pouch. He constantly has to sit in the pouch because he needs the pressure on him all the time, they say. Constantly needs that to him.
I think Rue is probably the most adjusted character out of all of them.
Well, they also said that Rue has a tendency of jumping around, and it's a fixation. He has to constantly do something over and over again based on autism. Rabbit, of course, OCD. Rabbit obsessed with keeping everything organized. And Eeyore, dudes, if you don't know what's wrong with Eeyore, then you got some serious.
Sad.
That dude's just
He's
depressed.
very depressed.
I'm surprised he hasn't tried to slice his.
Oh, don't stop. Well, he's already his tail. Somebody sliced his tail
all you need to do is
already.
pull the strings out of his stomach, and his insides just pop out. That's what I was surprised at. Hey, Ewan McGregor. Do you want to hear from him? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to hear some stuff from him. He actually talks about the movie itself, and he says his parents read Winnie the Pooh books to him as a child. He's excited when Disney brought back Pooh's original voice from the movie.
Right.
So listen to this.
He's a very iconic character in Britain, where I'm from, and I'm sure I've read the stories to my kids, and I'm so familiar with them that I must have read them when I was a child by my parents. I don't remember that, but I must have been. And then his voice, we have the original Winnie the Pooh's voice, so I must have been very familiar with Disney's cartoons as well.
He liked the voice actor. That was pretty cool. And then Ewan McGregor, oh my God, he asked the studio to give him something.
When we were acting, Winnie the Pooh and I would have, we had a teddy bear, not a puppet. It wasn't animated in any way. It was just a teddy bear, but it was exactly like him that you see in the movie there. And yes, I asked them to make me one. Yeah. So I left with one in a suitcase. I probably wasn't allowed, but I've got him at home. I have him sitting in different. Sometimes he's in the living room. Occasionally he's in the kitchen. It's just nice to have him around. I'm so fond of him.
He sounds like he has issues. That is
awesome. No. He just loved it. I mean, his dad read it to him. He's also done it with his own child as well. So that's adorable.
Is it weird you out a little bit? Not weird, but it's kind of cool. You ever see how he smiles? It seems like a forced smile. You noticed that about you?
Yeah, it feels that there's some nervous tendencies.
Like he does a smile.
All his interviews. But remember, he used to be a very big smoker. But did you know that he motorcycled around the world?
Yeah, I know. He did it was a series on the Travel Channel. He did it for a while.
Yeah, and so he's also been a young man. Like since 16, he's been acting. So I mean, he's always been on the spotlight for a long time.
All right. So, Ewan McGregor, I found this, and everybody wants to know if it's going to happen or not. What about Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, he's getting all these futures, he's getting all these interviews. Is he going to be in a Star Wars spinoff? This is the closest thing I could find of what he says about Star Wars. Listen to this.
Yes, I would totally do it, of course.
Oh!
Yeah. There's no plans as such to do it, as far as I know. But it's so funny. I've been asked this question for years and years, and of course I would be happy to do it. I think there must be a good story to tell as they're doing spin-offs. There's likely to be a good Obi-Wan between maybe me and Alec Guinness in that time.
There must be.
But I've answered yes so many times. It looks like I'm sort of touting for work at Disney's door. You know what I mean?
No, remember he's the same age as us. He was, and so he's getting up there. But he has sometimes, but he's been really busy with a lot of pre-productions. Dr. Sleep, The Land of Sometimes, The Cow. He said he took a little bit of break, but this doesn't seem like this man really does break as much. Because, he did the TV series Fargo as well, too.
That's right. I forgot.
Right.
He doesn't look anything like himself in there.
No.
Nothing. He looks totally
he also
Fargo.
did Beauty and the Beast, Lumiere. So, I mean, if you look at his record, he's doing about 2 to 3 movies. In 2015, he did 6 movies.
What year was this?
2015. One of them was a video game called Giving Tales, where he was the narrator. But wow, this man has done a lot.
All right, we're about to go inside the movie theater, so we got to wrap up stuff. They're going to turn off our all the audio
devices.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
So I got one more. I want to talk to these two guys that are sitting on the floor, and then we're going to go inside, and then we're going to come back and give our feedback about the movie. And of course, I'm going to have a full recap or what we thought of the movie. It's going to be at yournerdside.com. All right. And while you're always listening to us, make sure to follow us on iTunes, subscribe, listen to us, love us, and then give us a good review on it. We always ask for that. All right. Listen to this interview, and then we'll be coming back out of the theater and giving you our review of Christopher Robin right here on Your Nerd Side. So I'm walking over here. I see two guys sitting down that look like the coolest guys in the world. I'm going to bug you two guys over here. You guys look like connoisseurs of Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh. So I'm going to ask you, what brings you out here to see Winnie the Pooh?
Like the animals.
How old are you? I'm not making fun.
26.
You're 26. That's good. That's good. So you brought kids with you, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
My brother.
How old's your brother?
26, same age.
I love that. That's awesome. So you guys got free passes? You just want to see Christopher Robin? That's fine. That's good. That's good. So if you didn't get the free passes, would you have come out and seen the movie?
Yep.
You would? Be honest. If you didn't get it, you'd pay to see this?
Yep.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. I was just curious. I'm not trying to give you guys. What's your name real fast?
Patrick.
And what's your brother? Is he your twin, I'm assuming?
Joseph.
Joe, you guys are twins? I can't see his face. Look at. You guys don't look too similar.
Told me about Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, do you remember that? Yes, I remember. I'm always bugging all you guys all the time. That is awesome. All right, hold on, guys. Hey, thanks for joining us.
My fellow citizens, correspondents have uncovered something incredible.
So we finished the movie. We're knocking everything down. What did you think of it, AMV?
I really thought that they did a good job where
She
they
cried.
brought it. Yeah, I always cry.
She
My son
cries.
said. My son says you'll cry more in movies. Twice. No, really, just
She
once.
saw Dumb and Dumber and she cried.
No,
She did.
I never even saw Dumb and Dumber, but I think they
thought-
breathed some new life into the story. That
I thought
gave a
it
good
was
touch.
so slow. It was really
Oh.
slow in the beginning. It
Yeah,
just-
so one of our kids in the beginning, our youngest, 5 years old, was like, because none of the characters he was waiting for, Eeyore, Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, they weren't there for a big chunk of time. And this is not the part I cried in, but the beginning was a realistic, sad part that some of the young kids were not ready for.
I don't know.
So you didn't like it. You thought it was slow and
I thought it was too
sluggish.
slow, and then it's just I don't know. It got better. I
Yes.
laughed.
Good.
I laughed, but it just took me a while. Now, did you know, we didn't get to see it, but there is a post-credit scene in the movie. Did you know this?
Did we miss it?
It just didn't show. They don't show into the
Oh,
movies.
okay.
It was the original pianist that created the movie, the song and everything like that.
Oh.
It's a spoiler, they said. So it's the end. The Sherman Brothers. You know who the Sherman Brothers are?
No, I'm
They're
bad with
known.
names.
They had a lot of problems with Mary Poppins. They're the guys that wrote the music for Mary Poppins. Remember? And she went, I didn't like that. No, I don't like that.
Oh,
They're all
yes. In the room,
Yeah.
I saw the movie. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember those guys.
So
yes.
it makes an appearance. Only one of the brothers. So
Only one of them. Okay.
Then-
But do you feel that this movie was a better response from last year's Goodbye, Christopher Robin?
I didn't get to see it. I saw a little bit of it because it's on. If you get a chance, it is, since this came out, it's playing on every station, all the pay channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be. What I've watched of it, you can see him writing the books. I
Right.
have watched it. The balloon pops and he's having his flashbacks to the war, and I was like, oh, and then he was having his kid build the. He goes, oh, where do you want to put Al? He goes, we got to build a house there, and he paints it. Al's letters are backwards,
Right.
and then all of a sudden the red balloons pop, and he starts freaking out. That's all I saw. It was all right. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's a movie that I'm going to remember forever like E.T.
Yeah.
I think it just depends what attitude you came into the theater watching it. I think it's a great matinee movie if I had to put it in one of my rankings.
All right.
I wouldn't pay full price.
I did not like the coloring they used on the characters. Tigger,
Oh, yeah. Why were they really light? Was they trying to make it worn out?
they wanted to do that, yeah.
I mean, I don't get that.
It was supposed to be his stuffed animals he played out there.
Okay.
That's just how it was.
But we have some Tiggers that are still orange.
Yeah, they
They're
just changed
18
it.
years old. We have some old children who are adults now.
I don't know why they did it.
But
I don't
maybe
know.
that time and era, right? So wait. Can you help me out? Was he fighting in the World War One?
World War II. Looks like World War II to me. No, it was World War One.
It had to because the helmets were really old.
World War One.
Okay. Yeah, so not everyone's giving. Yeah, so some people I could see giving 2 stars or 5 stars on there, but well, I honestly think it just depends if you just go in there open-minded, and if you don't play the comparison game, you will come out content. I think our entire family, we have a full spectrum of different personalities. Everyone came out content, even with my freaking burned hand that I'm still in freaking pain about. And thanks for not asking how it is.
Okay. And did you know the voices? What do you want me to do? Keep asking about your hand. And the voices were changed during post production.
Oh, what happened?
Well, it was Jim Cummings, who of course does Winnie the Pooh, and he's been doing it for years. And they hired, Crystal Dowd was hired for the part of Tigger, but it didn't quite work, so they had Cummings do Tigger 2.
Well, what happened with the Tigger dude?
It just didn't work out. He didn't read it the right way they wanted to.
Oh, they didn't
I
like
was
him.
more upset they didn't give Tigger, and all those guys should have had more deeper roles. I understand it was Christopher Robin, it was that, but for the kids, they really want to see it. And the kids, that's the only thing.
One story I would really like is to know the background, the prequel of like Eeyore. Why are you so depressed?
Yeah, why is he?
Right? Piglet, why are you scared all the freaking time? Like, who damaged you as a child? That's a story I want to watch.
All right, so I gave it a 3 out of 5. Do you think that's good?
Yeah, I think that's a good scale. Yeah.
All right, that's just it. I think it's going to do well at the box office. How much is it going to make? Is it going to be number one?
Is it going to beat the other one, Goodbye, Christopher Robin?
No, I don't even think it's going to beat Mission Impossible. I think Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible is a totally different audience member.
All right, we got a lot of stuff happening in the show next week. Stick around because two old dudes, you're going to love this for next week. Two old dudes are making a comeback